Dave was just telling us a minute ago that he had a great dinner at a really nice restaurant last night. He was describing, I got the scallops, I had the risotto, and I sat outside, and I thought, I hate that. I hate everything. everything about it.
Why?
I hate everything about it. I don't know. That's just how I am. You were describing, you're like, I got the scallops. Like, oh, you got the scallops. And then you were saying, and they have that wonderful butter that's salted. And, oh, you got butter that's salted. I mean, everything you were saying is like, oh, I hate that. But yet I would do it myself.
Of course you would. Why don't you?
Of course I would enjoy it.
Why don't you take your wife and celebrate something?
And Chris Dim said they have a wonderful risotto. I said, oh, I bet you know they have a great risotto. Oh, yeah. And, Dave was all about, I love eating outdoors. I said, oh, do you? I don't like eating outdoors.
A little water trickling off to the side. Very nice night.
Gross.
Sun was setting.
Horrible. Horrible. Everything about it. It's like, it's what I'd like, but I have to hate it. I have to silently hate it,
Yeah.
I'm jealous of him for doing it, and I hate it at the same time. So anything I'm not doing, I look down on.
I'll tell you what it is. It sounds like such a great idea.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to do it.
Right.
Well, now that's true. Biggie doesn't.
Neither one of you would have been comfortable.
No,
You'd be more
No,
comfortable
eating outside.
in the parking lot, eating a chicken sandwich in your car.
My thrill each day is the fact that I'm like, do I eat in my living room or my bed?
Jesus. You're like 3 steps from shut in.
3.
Listen to this. Last night, I'm playing pickleball, and afterwards, I think, well, it's time for me to get chicken and pickles. I'm going to finish my night with this. I got done about 8 o'clock, and I hadn't eaten. I'm going by there. And they're doing construction on another one.
What?
Yes, the one over here, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Pisgah Church.
Yeah.
I go over there, and
Are they rebuilding the drive-thru?
yeah, they're doing a big.
Are they closed completely?
Yeah, it's totally closed. It was like
Yeah,
blocked
when
off.
when they do a store,
Yeah.
they shut her down.
It was blocked off, and I got there to the parking lot. And this is such a white person. I got out of the car like, how can they? I mean, I'm like out of the car.
It's not like
Hands on hips.
being closed on Sundays. Not enough.
Walk up to it.
I mean, there was nothing. There was no. I mean, there were.
Hello.
You know the neat thing about that store is they could close it and put somebody out there taking money and not get anything in return, and people would
Still
give them money.
They could put out there a cooler of chicken sandwiches and just
Yes.
hand them out
On an honor system?
Absolutely.
from a different
People would buy
restaurant.
'em.
Yeah, and we'll
Yes.
just put $5 in the jar and take our chicken sandwich. And I mean, there were mounds of dirt around it. I was crawling up on the dirt, going, "Is it possible? There's somebody inside."
Anyone inside?
No, and I was shocked by that.
Capital improvements for them at every store.
Well, they're doing a lot of. You know what they're doing is they're going way more to like
Changing the drive-thru.
the
Changing with the
app and the
times.
drive-through. Yeah, it's going to be all drive-through and app. Not all, but it'll be a big part of it, of course. Which we've talked about recently about how I went into that McDonald's the other day. And we had to order from a kiosk. We got way into this yesterday, and you'd have thought somebody said, the place is on fire.
I wonder what ordering, because McDonald's has the app too, don't they? I wonder what ordering on the app would have been like that day. Impossible?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know that McDonald's brings it out to you. Now, the way Chicken and Pickles does it is you order on your app, and then you go park in a designated spot, and they just walk out there to you with it. And McDonald's probably has that too.
I thought they did.
I would guess they do. I don't know, but it was so slammed inside and outside. And we got into this yesterday that because they're having trouble hiring people. They didn't have enough staff there. And that's when they said they had to go kiosk. Here's something else we touched on yesterday. Now, this was late in this program, what Chris Dim calls garbage time. Okay? Great story in Garbage Time yesterday about how there was a guy who was living in a retirement community in Florida with his new wife. He was widowed.
All right.
And she got mad at him. She wound up throwing food at him or something.
She was arrested for throwing food at him, but in her defense, she claimed that this guy was showing his buddies, his male buddies, naked pictures of his dead ex-wife.
That's right. And his
dead ex.
And he was basically saying, I don't have a good looking
Check that out. You see that?
I used to hit that.
She's dead now, but so I thought Biggie had what a great take and a great story. He had gone to Pornhub once in a while. Okay.
Hey, you want to relax?
Yeah, okay, right. Privacy of his own home.
Have a cigar.
Yeah.
Bed or sofa.
Always bed for that.
Really? Or you're romantic.
So he said, but
I
sometimes
just ate there.
I didn't think you left the stools at the counter.
But sometimes, of course, the actress in the video has passed away.
Life happens.
And that made you feel really strange about it. That
you found out by in a non-sexual way.
Yeah, I found out by a YouTube video that was like an in memoriam.
Yeah.
To which, by the way, are tons of in memoriam to porn stars on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah,
That's sad.
It is.
Are they die young, like of ODs?
it's a mix of things.
Ugh.
And recent? I mean, not like all 70s, 1980s stuff.
No,
right?
I mean, there's a lot of like recent stuff too, recent ones.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, just to hear that. Well, a P1 emailed after hearing that story and said, please keep me anonymous. But Biggie was talking about finding out later that a porn star was deceased. I take the strict don't want to know any more about porn stars that my wife and I watch together. But I have a sister who's 3 years older than me, and she's in the adult entertainment industry. Had done some stripping, done some shows. My policy was I don't ask. She doesn't talk about it. We have a great relationship. I don't say anything. She doesn't say anything. Quick story. 15 years ago, I'm managing a bar. My girlfriend had just broken up with me, and I had moved, and I decided to order a show on Spice Channel to relax one night after work.
Vaguely remember Spice. Never had it.
I don't think I've ever had Spice Channel. Went to grab a beer out of the fridge. Noticed two women on the TV beginning to do their thing. And when I sat down to really get into it, I realized one of them is my sister.
Oh, no.
Well, you've already paid for it. Might as well.
He said he couldn't. Turned the TV off. Turned the TV off, chugged the beer, and went to bed. Had a quiet night in bed.
I might have gone back for a second beer.
Wow.
No kidding.
Wow.
Man,
That
has to be just the most gut-wrenching feeling.
it is. I mean, it's got to be. And I didn't know what to reply to him. I just was like, what could you say about something like
I
that?
almost replied, what's her name?
I mean, you know.
You put that out there and then...
Here it is. Yeah. No, he said he wanted to be anonymous, and he had no idea that she was going to, of course, show up on the Spice Channel. And there she is. Although, you know.
I'm surprised he knew his sister was in that business.
Yeah, I guess. And like
Yeah,
you
I
said,
wonder
they
how he
never
found
really
out.
talk
Yeah,
about
I mean,
it.
and maybe she's just honest and was like, "This is what I do," and
Got
they were
drunk
like,
one-
"That's it."
Got drunk one night with her brother. And
Well, I mean, that's an interesting question of you know, when in the normal times when people were in just dancing for a living, you know, not acting, not doing videos or anything like that, or OnlyFans now. But if you're just dancing, how many family members know? Or do they just break off contact with family?
You know, we've had stars of the adult world in here before. And my question, of course, always is, what does your father
of the family?
What does your father say
What's your
about
daddy
it?
think?
And they always say they're good with it. You know, time and again they have said, you know, my parents are okay with this.
But I wonder if that's just a rote
Cover.
response.
I think it's a cover.
You know?
I don't know that can. You know, they always say I have a good relationship with my parents, but I have a hard time believing, like you just
But
said.
that was a common question back in the 70s and 80s when Playboy magazine would come to town. You know, what does your father think that you're the centerfold? They would always say the same thing. Well, I showed him the pictures early.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
he said they were tasteful.
Yeah. He said his buddies gave him a good ribbon.
That's a pretty rough place to be. When your daughter is showing you, here's my pictures.
I wouldn't want to see the picture. I just like, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't want to see the pictures.
Yeah, I don't want to see
either.
the pictures. I just be like, you're in there. You've chosen it. This is your choice.
I'm not going to look at that.
Yeah,
I
now, of
wouldn't look
course.
at that.
Yeah.
I mean, you would get ribbing from your friends.
Do you think?
But, you know, nowadays, you know, as Biggie can tell you, the OnlyFans has changed the game.
Yeah.
There's no more middleman. There's no more sleazy photographers from Playboy.
So if your daughter is on OnlyFans and doing really hardcore stuff, you do think your friends would rib you about that? I think they'd keep it from you. I think they wouldn't want to.
Depends on if they're a member or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, do they want to let you know that they're on?
I don't know.
I wouldn't. I think it's different too on an OnlyFans versus Playboy.
Man,
Playboy, you know, that would go out on a newsstand back in the day everywhere.
and people would see.
And people would see, especially if your daughter was the centerfold, like on the cover.
That's a big deal. In a small town, your daughter's on in the centerfold and Playboy. I think that gets
And making porn in the porn industry is so much more. It's even more mainstream now because a lot of the people out there are just everyday next door people making porn in their own house and putting it out there.
Well, that's right. Yeah, that's
and
OnlyFans.
selling it. I mean, it is, but it's on porn sites too, and it amazes me that some of these big companies are still in Or still have as much business as they do.
Mm-hmm. Like Pornhub.
I've said
Well,
for
no,
years.
like the
like Vivid.
like Vivid, like the big companies that make movies.
I will continue to be shocked that people pay for porn.
I know you've said that time
But
and
it
years.
happens. Once or twice a year, someone who's in charge of someone else's money, whether it be a PTA president or a public official, will have spent thousands and thousands of dollars going down this rabbit hole of porn.
Yeah, we talked about that recently.
But usually what it is someone will say, I need money to bring my kid here from Russia.
Well, right.
Yeah.
So they start sending them cash.
That's right. That's
Well,
how that works.
I'll tell you that we will have the stories increasing that we've had. We had one so far where it was the OnlyFans. The lady was doing an OnlyFans, and her kids got kicked out of school because of that.
I was on her side.
yeah.
I was for her.
I was too.
Yes.
Arm in arm with, not arm in arm, but
I was told, she's a Catholic school mom.
I don't care.
I
She paid her bills.
Oh, great. Pay your bills.
was that her handle?
She made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
We can't show that she actually had a Catholic school skirt.
But these busybodies from the school, these moms were like, "Oh, we can't have that." So because her kids got along there very well, and nobody knew what she was doing. I was totally for her. No, that word spread.
I think we're going to have more and more of those
I don't
stories with
doubt that.
OnlyFans,
I don't
where
doubt
somebody's been fired, or somebody's been kicked out of school, or something because they have an OnlyFans on the side.
Here's another woman. This is video as well. TikTok. See if you can cut her any slack here. She has 645,000 followers on TikTok from Brazil. Her name is Karen Garcia. She says Sao Paulo. And she is a plastic surgeon, and she does dances that are getting a lot of attention now, where she takes bags of fat that she's removed from people during liposuction and dances with them. And she will actually put on the screen, this is underarm fat, this is belly fat, and she does these strange dances. But now they've taken her license away after they've stripped
Not
her.
TikTok license.
No, her medical license.
Well, that might be right.
That was what recent they were talking about guessing the weight of organs
diseased organs.
Of diseased organs. I was all right with it. Remember, I said I was okay with that, and a lot of people wrote in and said, "Yeah, we do that. We're in this game." And
yeah, but you don't do it in front of the cameras and dance around and then post it.
They put it on. This woman, Karen Garcia, has bags of. She'll say like, "This is breast fat. This is underarm fat. This is belly fat," and she has bags of it. And long after the patient has left, she still has the bags. Should she have her license stripped for that? I think in the U.S. she would as well. I believe it would.
I do believe.
Yeah,
I do too.
It's not her fat to shake.
It's not her fat. Well, who owns that fat? Once she's liposuctioned the fat out,
Well, it's just medical waste, right?
It's medical waste, but I think the patient would think that it would be going down the drain or wherever it goes.
Oh, it's
Or into soap. You saw it.
made into soap. Did you see Fight Club?
Tallow.
Have you seen Fight Club?
Right.
That's a big
Why do you think
part
that
of-
stuff floats, baby?
That's right. That's right.
99.44%.
You're using that. She is known for doing this now, and finally, they're investigating her. But in the meantime, they have taken away her license. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, if she's, the patient thing it's gone, but the patient's never identified. You don't know where it's coming from. It's just bags, that she's.
It just
doing
seems
it.
like poor judgment, though.
Yeah, well-
on behalf of certain people, we still hold as I hold a certain standard.
A medical professional.
Yes.
Who's doing.
I mean, the
this.
guy who drained your knee. Would you want him dancing around in a thong
No, I've known him.
with your knee water?
I know.
Little Ziploc baggie.
That's not right.
Wasn't that little?
Man, that shouldn't be turning me on, but it is.
Let me tell
It's a
you.
2-liter bottle.
My knee water. I had so much fluid on my knee. In fact, he was going, my God, I haven't tapped a keg
I
like
need
this.
backup.
Spraying all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
It was awful. Really, seriously, there was a big bunch of knee water. It's old yellow knee water.
Oh, yellow.
Yeah, and it did me twice. Did both knees. And in fact, his partner came by. He came by once and made a little joke. Then he came back by the second time. I was like, "Good God,
Still here?
You still draining?"
You have to go empty the truck and bring it back to get the.
You're right. You're right. I would not want to see him with a bib of my knee water,
No, I mean, you don't want to see your doctor
knee
doing
juice doing that.
That. Well, they like dancing on that TikTok. I'll tell you what. It's crazy. Everybody dances on there. I don't have it, but it gets transferred over to Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See you're right. That's the thing. A lot of dancing on
A
TikTok.
lot of gals shaking it out there.
You're right.
That ought not be.
Well, but this woman has a hook now. She's got liposuction fat.
I guess you've got to think
So
up
you've
some
got
sort of a gimmick.
Something new. This is an update as well. Yesterday, we talked about a guy. He was in Salisbury, North Carolina at a Food Lion grocery store. Accidentally shot himself in the groin in the bread aisle. Dave said, get some good old bunny bread and put it right on
Sop
the
it up.
wound and sop it up. He ran to the front. They had to call an ambulance for him. And we talked about can guns go off like that? Here we go again. Knoxville, Tennessee, man rushed to the hospital after police said he accidentally shot himself trying on a pair of pants in a dressing room in Walmart. So he's trying on the pants, and the gun goes off, and he shot himself. It dropped to the floor and went off and shot himself in the leg.
He was undoing his belt or whatever of the old pant.
That's right. And the gun hit the floor and shot himself in the lower part of the leg, which we had calls yesterday saying unless you've modified the weapon, it shouldn't go off like that. But
we're not gun people.
I don't know, but I keep hearing of guns dropping and shooting.
That's many times that has happened, and yet time and again people say that is not. That it shouldn't do that.
And I think people that aren't smart enough to know how to fix their gun so that it goes off easier.
Yeah.
Why would you want that?
Yeah. Well, hair trigger, is that what you said yesterday? That's what it's.
I mean, that's what a lot of people want to go quick. I mean, you want to pull that trigger barely. You look at it and it fires.
Yeah. Dexter, you're talking about what we were just talking about, the lady who was dancing around with bags of fat on TikTok. Go ahead, Dexter.
I think everybody with a doctor should be able to laugh, be able to have fun. I had a doctor run out of the room when I showed her the poison ivy on my junk. It was so bad.
You really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, no, she was an Army doctor. She said, I've seen worse things than you could ever have. I need you to pull it out. I pulled it out. She said, dear God, turned her face and ran out of the room.
How'd you get it there?
Well, I'm from the West Coast. I didn't know what poison ivy looked like. When you're in the woods, you got to take a leap.
Yeah. And you got it.
So I had touched it. I had touched myself, and it looked like a zombie nightmare.
Poison ivy's down on the ground. Boy, you must be hung. Did you pee laying down?
Well, congratulations.
My God.
Maybe the doctor wasn't even referring to the actual poison
she was
ivy.
running out of the room, not because of the